All right, now it's been a little while and I've made some posts, but I had another post that I wanted to do, but this is a perfect opportunity to demonstrate what I'm talking about with not only helpful posts, but also with the tiny URL thing. But I put in here that I'm working on this photo, and this is a Photoshop restoration niche, okay? You would do it with whatever niche you're in, whatever product you're pushing. I'm into Photoshop, so this is one of the things that I do, right? So I've got just a regular, personal doing something, then I've got something pointing to somebody else. This is like obviously not an affiliate link. I'm just sharing with people something that I enjoy, and that's Photoshop User TV. Great podcast, and telling them again something that I'm doing. This happens to be a niche specific type post. Again, something very personal. And now I want to post something that's extremely helpful to them. So I already mentioned that I'm working on this photo. Well, I was on a retouching forum here, and there was a technique for removing emulsion stains. So this would be the kind of thing that I would like to share because anybody else who is interested in this, they're probably going to be, interested in this kind of niche. They're probably going to be interested in this post. Now, the thing is with this, you can't see because I've got it off the screen. The URL for this thing is huge. Probably that would use up most of my words. But I'm going to go over here to tinyurl.com. I copied the link off the clip in the browser there. I'm gonna right click and paste, and then I just click make tiny URL. Allow access there. Okay, and it's 89 characters. So yeah, it was close to like 51 of my whole thing, and now it's only 25 characters. And here it is. I'll right click, select copy, then I can go back here to Twitter and do this. Hey, slick technique for removing emulsion stains. And the nice thing about Twitter here is the numbers is telling me how many characters I've got left. So I already know that I've got 25 characters for my URL, right? So Control V to paste that, and I click Update. That's something totally helpful and non-self-serving. You can be sure that if the majority of my posts look like this, people are going to want to follow me. And as I do this, and I put, they're going to get used to these tiny URL things. And as I use those, even for my own things that I'm promoting, they're going to feel much more comfortable clicking on those because I've already established a relationship where they know that I give them helpful information. And sure, if I shoot them something that sales every once in a while, it's not going to be a big deal. Now, real quick, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some tweet tools. These are things that you're going to be able to use to kind of make your experience with Twitter a little bit more enjoyable, or at least a little bit more accessible if you're not already there. We already talked about tiny URL, right? You know what that is. Bring that's an application that will install on your mobile phone, so that allows you to not only do Twitter, but a lot of other IM clients as well. Jitter, which it is not jitter.com, okay, that's some other wacky company, but you'll have to Google it because the URL is crazy long. But Jitter is an application that, and what I would suggest is, let's go over here to this, and I'll go to Google. And I'll just show you what I'm talking about here so you can at least know you're at the right place. But it is a very long URL. I would do Jitter and then maybe Twitter together. And I think that'll make it come up. Yep. Abero Jitter free download. Click on it. And as you can see here, get jar products 9943 jitter Twitter client. A little bit long. I didn't want to put all that stuff in there. But here you can get this. It's another mobile thing. So you can use that with your cell phone. And a lot of people, I mean, it's pretty neat. You know, you'll be following somebody and they'll say, you know, I just landed in Japan or something like that. I'm at the airport getting a taxi to New York. All that kind of stuff. This is what people post. And they do that from their mobile phones. Twirl, that's another one. Let's check that out here. This is a client that you can install on your computer. And what it allows you to do is you don't have to go to Twitter. You get all of your notifications, messages. It will also use some tools and do the short URL things for you. So pretty neat. Nice thing. It's kind of like having an IM client open. All right, so you can just have it running and you can just post stuff and you can just see updates when people post stuff to you and you don't have to have your browser open. So that's a pretty interesting program. I use that myself. And Tweet Later. This is a little bit more. Let me see if I can find. There it is. All right, Tweet Later. Primarily, this is used because, well, some people use it for the scheduling. Like you can schedule a tweet to be done later. So you can put in a whole bunch of them, actually. And then it will go in and it'll post them when you tell them to, when you tell it to. So you don't have to sit there at your computer, which, you know, how do you know what you're doing in an hour? But anyhow, that's the way that works. But also, it allows you to do, let's go scroll through the list here and see if it actually shows one of the more popular things that it does. I can't see it on here, but I'll tell you what I use it for and what a lot of other people use it for, is it will do an automatic follow. If somebody follows you, it will follow them back, so you don't have to manage any of that stuff. And the way that it does it is it gets set up in conjunction, like you turn it on, right? And you have to kind of configure it with your Twitter account. But once you do that, you have to, in your email client, you set it up. You have to set up a rule, right? In Outlook, I can't tell you how to do this in all of them, but like in Outlook, for example, it has rules, and you can specify if I get a message and it has this in the subject line, then I want you to do, you know, steps 1, 2, and 3, whatever. So what you do is you set it up so that if you get a message and it'll have the title there in the subject that somebody is following you, and you put in there that it's from the Twitter domain, and I can't remember the address myself, but once you sign up, the instructions are in there. Anyhow, what it does is whenever you get that notification that somebody's following you, it automatically does a forward, and it forwards that email to the Tweet Later service. They parse it out, and they know that it's for you, right? Because the address that it comes from, and they know that you're being followed. So they can tell who is following you, and it automatically logs in using your Twitter account, and it follows that same person. And it sends them a message. So you can have it set up to send them an automatic message welcoming them or say, hey, I'm following you too, whatever you want to say. I've even seen some people that do an automatic like promotional kind of thing where it says, hey, thanks for following me. I'm following you too. Could you check out this post that I did, you know, on Dig or something, and, you know, vote for it. Now, what I want to do next is just go over some tips for Twitter, and then we're going to go ahead and move on to another video where I'm going to show you, demonstrate how to actually use some of the tools that you're going to find real handy with Twitter. But as far as tips goes, let me get my notes here. Tweet frequently. Some of this stuff we've already talked about. The more you tweet, the more followers you're going to get. And that's what it's all about, getting a lot of followers, because remember, that's just like having a big email list. Keep it professional, good public relations. You don't want to try to, you know, really offend people. You want to try not to do that. And Twitter other people's blog posts, other people's articles, anything else, because they might return the favor. post helpful links. If you just, remember these tips right here and do these, you'll have a lot of success on Twitter. And if you need to contact somebody, if you want to send a message to somebody, you don't want other people to see it, use the DM direct message feature. That'll go just to that person. Nobody else sees it. Okay, let me go over here to the browser and I'll show you real quick. I'm going to have to log out because I'm not following anybody and nobody's following me. Let's go ahead and I'll log in with my normal Twitter account. And you can see here, some more people have posted recently. Some of them quite frequently. Might have to get rid of some of these people. But anyhow, you can see here, I'll go over to Jeremy. Somebody else saying Twitter was real sluggish tonight. And you can see here I can message Jeremy. So if I click that, this is because I'm following him, he's following me. I'm able to send him a direct message. All right, that's not available if you don't have that relationship. Also remember, don't spam people. No blatant ads. That's what you want to stay away from. And then even if you're not going to Twitter right now, try to get out there and get your name if possible, or get a good name. Get it reserved, because eventually this is taking off so fast. I even saw an article the other day saying this is like one of the hottest, fastest growing sites on the internet. So even if you're not going to do it today, try to get your name, try to get something good right now, because eventually you probably are going to be doing it. It's not just a fad, I don't think. So that's it for now. You're going to see me in the next video. We're going to look at some tools and I'll show you how we use them.